Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all. Best car feature, Vroom!
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Vroom!
Vroom, vroom.
Zoom, zoom.
Oh, that's it. Zoom, zoom. That's right.
Yeah, not vroom, vroom. Did you say, wait, were you thinking? I thought you were just doing sound effects. You were actually doing the Mazda.
I was trying to do the
Zoom,
Mazda
zoom?
zoom, zoom, but I forgot.
Hey, look.
Zoom,
Mazda must not
zoom,
have done a
zoom. Now I
very good job.
remember. Oh.
Zoom, 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 zoom. I want you in my room.
My room. Come buy this automobile. It's got lots of cool features. Before we get into car add-ons, this is a great topic from Matthew Kirchhoff. First time suggester. Or the first time taken suggestion. Yeah.
Coming in with a banger.
Very
Kirchhoff.
excited about this. But you mentioned right before we started recording, and now I'm obsessed with the new format of the show, which is where we talk to each other. And then also a decision happens at some point. Don't worry, we'll get to it.
Sure.
You just had
We'll get
your
there.
fantasy football draft. The season, we're recording this on September 4th, 2024. Season starts tomorrow. That's when the first game is.
Yes, we have ours. We have ours late in the season. My fantasy league, we're kind of scattered all over Canada and the United States, and it's one of those where everybody couldn't get together until literally right before the season started. So we are getting the players at their. I don't know if anybody got injured today. It wouldn't surprise me. I had a player last year that I got, and immediately he was injured for half the season. And guess what? I picked him up again as my number one. Because I had the number one pick in the draft.
Who did you take?
You can guess who I took. If I say he was injured for half the season last year, and I picked him up first in the draft this time.
Is it Joe Burrow?
No, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, that's right. CMC. I forgot he was injured. Sorry. 49ers. Don't care. But here's the other,
This is for all the people of the world out there who are big football fans. We're going to have to breeze through this, Hal. We're going to lose a lot of people in a very short amount of time.
I don't want to talk about football at all. I want to talk about what I've been seeing lately, which is fantasy leagues. A lot of times they'll just randomly decide who picks first, but there are leagues where they do contests to determine draft order. I saw one where it was a cold plunge, and whoever stayed in the longest was the number one pick. So it was in order of how long you were able to last in the cold plunge.
So we do a snake draft as well. So I got the number one pick, but that also meant I was going last the next round, first the following round, which actually worked out really well because Annie and I were cooking dinner. So I would do two in a row, and then I would have a little time off to go put cornstarch on the chicken.
I do not have the patience for drafts anymore. I can't do.
I love fantasy draft. Fantasy draft feels like the time of the season when everyone is talking the most, and it's like the most exciting moment of the season is the fantasy draft. And the rest of the season, I just check in on Sundays and I'm like, oh, I did well. Or, I bet I should probably play somebody that I haven't, who has a bye this week. Like, I'm a very passive manager. I'm that way in a lot of things, though. I think I would be a pretty lax boss.
Sure.
I know for the entity of Mark Gagliardi, I'm a pretty lax boss. Yeah, you know what? You don't have to come into work today. Someone will cover you.
Oh my God.
Probably Hal.
Yeah, I'll do it. Let's talk about car add-ons. This is exciting. And you sent me a list.
I did.
Not the top, but like here a list of, well, I guess it's there.
It breaks it into sections. It's a lot of things that are pretty common now. Yeah.
Yeah. These are things that are optional features. It's not going to be all time because at one point air conditioning was an add-on.
Right. And so were seat belts at one time.
So were seat belts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now CarPlay or Android Play, those tend to come standard.
Oh, that you would think that, my friend. That
really?
That is a plus you have to add. And I would be hard pressed at the beginning of this episode to think of anything that I enjoy more than that is the one for me. CarPlay is the we'll jump right in. Let's just jump into we have a bunch of categories. Our first category is going to be infotainment.
Okay.
So that is the dashboard collection of bells and whistles that give you navigation and good sound and all of this. I don't need any of that. Maybe good speakers. I don't need anything that this machine is going to plug into that dashboard that I don't already have a superior version that I know how to use better on my phone. Just put CarPlay in everything. If I have to rent a car when I go out of town, CarPlay is the one thing I will only, that's the only thing that I ask to make sure I have. You can give me a manual transmission car with hand cranked windows if it has CarPlay.
That would be an interesting car to say. Here, this Chevy Impala is from 1973. We retrofitted it.
You can retrofit if you have a single DIN stereo. You can the ones that have the little flip out screen on them. Come on, man. You're telling me you wouldn't want to have a 57 Bel Air that you can listen to Spotify on?
Oh, that, you know what? My dream for any classic car is I hope I can listen to Spotify on this. You know what would be really fun?
So I got this Model T. Games.
I got a Model T. I hand crank it. I go out. I've got my straw boater hat that I put on so everybody knows that I know the outfit that goes with this car.
Yeah.
And
your gloves.
And then I'm playing like, oh, Rosie, she comes down the way. And then in the middle is like an ad for Blue Chew. that is out of sync volume wise with everything else I've listened to, or the same Capital One commercial 900 times. That's living.
Wasn't that a law that they passed? Wasn't that like a FCC law they passed a few years ago? You can't make the ad louder than the primary thing you're listening to.
Maybe if they did, then officer, I'd like to report a crime. There's some stuff in this category that I think is really frightening. Can I like talk about it?
Sure.
And one that I think is really cool future because I've experienced it. The other one I've not experienced, but just the idea of gesture control.
Yeah.
Which it allows you to control various car functions such as volume or navigation through hand gestures.
Yeah.
That's going to go too far. Listen, very soon.
Hal, I'm Italian. And who knows what my car is going to do? If I'm telling a really good story while I'm driving, then suddenly the volume is going up and down. The windshield wipers start going. I hope it doesn't control anything important because I may be speeding up and slowing down based on the size of the fish that I caught.
Yeah, somebody drives past you like that car's windows are constantly going up and down. I've seen the trunk pop open and close 500 times. The lights are blinking. It's a nightmare. We don't need to have everything in a car.
I will say if it's a smart version of gesture control, I wouldn't mind that. Like, let's say, another car flies past me, probably a BMW, and I stick my arm out and give him the finger. Then that triggers my car to play calming music. Maybe, have a little meditation from Wayne Dyer start up. It's like, Mark, calm down.
Is that what Wayne Dyer does?
Wayne Dyer's great, man. Listen to some of Wayne Dyer's audio recordings.
Is that what he sounds like? Mark?
Well, that's
Wayne
the thing.
Dyer.
Exactly.
Hello, Mark. I'm inside your head.
Oh, gosh, Wayne?
When you hum, I'm getting a massage on my back because I'm laying on your skull.
Oh, well, thank you for Wayne. Have you gone into the astral plane? Is that what's happened?
I'm astral projecting into your mind.
Wow.
Hum for me.
You are good.
Do the om. Hold on, just a little bit higher pitch.
And crash.
I have Mark, it's Wayne Dyer. Mark. Oh, I better project into someone else. It's in the name.
Gesture control is amazing. Yeah. Gesture control.
I mean, Dyer. I have driven in a car with augmented reality heads-up display. It is really, really cool. If you are sitting anywhere else in the car, you don't really see it. But when you're sitting in the driver's seat, it's good for navigation in particular. So you're not looking down at a screen because it does kind of pull your attention when you're looking at the entertainment center to see where your next turn is. Imagine you're driving and it pops up, says 150 feet and an arrow showing the way you're going. Also, you have all of the instrument readouts that you would have normally in a dashboard. You have your speed or whatever you need there is just showing up on the dashboard, and not in an obtrusive way. It's at the part of the dashboard that's maybe a little closer to the hood.
Okay. So it doesn't turn your whole screen into like a Pepper's Ghost video game.
Correct. Yes, there are no dancing ghosts that appear in front of you while you're trying to. It's way less of a distraction. It sounds like a distraction, or it sounds like something that would be a distraction, but it's actually way better in practice because it relieves you of the need to look elsewhere while you're driving.
Yeah, there is. Have you had the app version of that?
What's that?
There is an app version of a heads up display like that. I think one of the big ones has that as a function where you just take your phone, set it into heads up display mode, and then slide your phone to the front of your dashboard. And it's a high contrast, like black background, white text. It just gives you your directions reversed so that like you're looking at it in a teleprompter. So it's the same thing. It's a heads up display. It's just the phone based version. So if you have a car that actually has this version, the augmented reality heads up display, then you can continue to play, Wordle or anything else that you might be doing on your phone, or fumbling for a Yelp review to pick a restaurant because while you're driving, you found out that the restaurant you wanted to go to is full or closed.
It's Wayne Dyer again.
Oh gosh, Wayne Dyer, how'd you get on my skull?
Whenever you're trying to play Wordle while driving, that's when I show up.
Oh, you're like a Jiminy Cricket, aren't you?
Yes, but only for sitting inside people's skulls and having them hum so I can get a back massage.
All right. If I hum you a back massage, will you go away so I can keep playing Wordle while driving?
Yes, hum me a back massage, Mark. Little lower. Thank you. So low, Zoom didn't pick you up. I'm Wayne Dyer. Goodbye. Are there other things here? Like the 360 degree camera system is pretty cool, especially like, have you ever been in a car where when you park in a parking spot, it shows you the overhead view so you can see how close you are to either side?
That is freaky, man.
Wow.
That is freaky without a drone being above my car. Like, I feel like it's like suddenly the car feels like an Iron Man suit where it's released a tiny drone that just flies right above me and looks down at the car and feeds it into my display. It's weird. I don't know how it works. It's sorcery. It's awesome. But if I'm picking something from the infotainment section, I kind of want it to be something that's on the tainment side and not on the info side. Though boy, is that useful to have.
So you'd rather have CarPlay is probably the best because you have everything.
There's nothing that beats CarPlay in this category. There might not be anything that beats CarPlay on this list.
Yeah. I mean, it's the winner of this category for sure.
Hands down. Hands down. Have you played around with wireless CarPlay?
Yeah. For my birthday, when we went to Seattle, we rented, it was a Solana, I think, Subaru Solana, which is their electric SUV.
Oh, right on.
And it has you sit it in the little pad and it wirelessly charges while you have wireless CarPlay. And it was so nice because my car, I connect it and it's like sometimes it doesn't work and then I have to pull over, turn the car off, open the door and close it and then start it again and then it will work, which is really a hassle. But also if you rent an electric car, sometimes they'll only give it to you with 20% battery and then you go, hey, can you give me another electric car, please? Because it's supposed to have at least 70%. And they said none of them have battery. I don't know what's going on there. So you spend the entire time trying desperately to charge in very cold weather. It does not charge as fast. And it's still after that, I was like, it'd be nice to own an electric car because I don't learn lessons.
No, neither do I. That's the reason that I'm not currently driving my car, and driving a car that doesn't have CarPlay. But that is another story for another late night bar. Another thing that's on this list that I think has been around as long as I have known that cars have existed, and that is really good speakers. That's the only other thing from this category. But I think that default speakers are pretty good. And, if you want to do aftermarket stuff, this isn't going to be an add-on that I get from the dealer. If I'm like a speaker head that really wants to make sure I have killer sound, I'm not going to get it from Subaru. I'm going to get it from, the sound specialist down the street.
Big Al,
the one with all the face tattoos.
Yeah. Sound and camera or sound and auto. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's and find the person in that place who has either a picture of an old boombox or an old microphone or something tattooed on their arm. Find that person.
Jennifer, her car is from 2012, so it's before backup cameras and CarPlay and stuff. And we went to a place like around her birthday, February this year, we went to a place out here where they installed CarPlay. Like they installed a screen. It looks like it came with the car. That's how good a job they did. They installed a backup camera that also looks like it came with the car. And it all of a sudden, like what's old is new again. And it feels like a brand new car. It's way better. And I feel better knowing that she's driving something that has a little bit more safety behind it.
Well, the backup camera, I did not realize is now a requirement. What was once a luxury since 2018 has been a requirement in all new cars. Yeah. Shows how often I was driving new cars. Total game changer. You don't have to do the throw one arm over your shoulder, look behind you.
You still should. You should still check look everywhere, but it is a big difference and much safer and way better. Can we talk about some of these?
Which section are we looking in? By the way, we should tell everybody what the sections we're looking at are. We've got safety, performance, technology, comfort, and exterior.
I want to start with, now we've got our winner from infotainment.
Absolutely.
CarPlay. Let's go to comfort and interior features. I just want to point out some of these that I think are hilarious. Number one is massage seats. Definitely a bad idea.
Massage seats are a terrible idea. Who puts that in a car?
Yeah.
Don't put it in the driver's seat.
No one can get hurt. Those things are balls that like rotate into your back. Unless it shakes, also a bad idea.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, you should be relaxed while you're driving. You shouldn't like if you're in an accident, you're tensed up. That's bad. You're supposed to be relaxed, but there is a line between relaxed and things that will make you fall asleep and go like, oh, you don't want to, I'm going to do a 10-hour car.
No, if I'm going to do a 10-hour road trip.
Yeah.
I don't want to be getting soothingly massaged. It's literally described on this site as a spa-like experience. I'm not in a spa. I'm on the highway doing 75 on my way through Bakersfield.
Right.
I don't need to be driving into, I don't know, Dwight Yoakam's house. It was the only first Bakersfield person I could think of.
Hi, it's me, Dwight Yoakam. You want to move into my house?
Does it have multi-zone climate control?
Sure does. By the way, that is a marriage saver because the battle over I want it cold, she wants it hot. You're never on the same. You're in a relationship. You've been in many relationships. I'm sure you've had this experience before. If you get in the car, you do not want the same climate as the other person.
This feels unnecessary, and it feels like they're going to cancel each other out. There's no barrier that's going to create two different climate zones, man.
The airflow is the thing, though.
What?
It's on you. Like cold air is on me.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Or when she has like the heat she used to put the heat all the way up. And then my counter to that was I would lower the windows because it was so hot. It was like fogging up the windows and I couldn't deal. And, now I have my air. She has hers and it's way better. Seat warmers also huge. Seat warmers are great.
Seat warmers, I don't like that is a personal opinion. I'm sure for other people, they're great. I've never really been in I've never been in an environment cold enough that the heater inside a car couldn't make the car hot enough for me. Right. Heat warmers to me, like I dislike heat warmers so much that people I know, that I don't like seat warmers will sort of sneakily just turn them on in the car as a prank on me. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm sitting on a stove right now? And then I look down, I'm like, dang it, you flipped the seat warmer on. Yeah, I feel like with the seat warmer, I feel like the frog that's sitting in the boiling water.
I've never had one get that warm. You might have been at a bad car.
I'm super susceptible to it. Also, a dog had just eaten all of the foam and leather off of that particular chair. I was just sitting on metal coils.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think we figured it out.
All right. Well, that's fair. There's one on this list that is kind of nice, I guess, for some people and maybe an accessibility thing. But I am not a fan of, and that is when I try to close the trunk and I don't hear the person who owns the car sitting in the front go, it has a button. And then I try to close the trunk and the trunk like resists and then pushes itself back up and then goes, I'll do it. And then slowly closes itself.
Oh man, no. But
just let me close the trunk.
At power, you're looking at it the opposite way. That is always frustrating. I want to close it. I forget that there's a button. A lot of times you don't have to close it. Like they can do it. Like you don't have to do it.
I like a Jeep Wrangler. There's certain things about a car that I like to do.
All right. Imagine this. You've gone to Target.
Yeah. Oh, I went today.
You're carrying a ton of stuff.
Okay.
It's not
I
in a
didn't buy that
cart.
much
You've
stuff.
decided
Hold on,
to
no, but I
carry a
didn't
bunch
buy
of
that
stuff.
much stuff today.
This is not today. This is another time.
Okay. When was this?
This is like a week ago. Remember when you needed all that toilet paper and paper towels and you had one giant thing of each under
I don't
each
want to
arm?
talk about Hal. We weren't going to talk to other people about this.
Well, they need to know. You go into the back of the car
Mm-hmm.
and you either through a button, or the best one is you can put your foot underneath. There's like a little sensor and you sort of kick your foot out. Then it opens for you. You load it, do it again. It closes. I think it is one of the smartest things because neither of our cars, we both have SUV type or crossovers. And it's so frustrating, especially when there's a bunch of stuff. Like, oh, I want to get all the stuff out. I don't want to take a bunch of trips. I can get it in one shot. My arms are full. Now I have to navigate the closing of the gate. If it didn't close properly, I'm going to have to come back down and do it again. The automatic opening and closing is way more clutch. It's what the benefits of it far outweigh the fact that you forget that it exists and try to close it and it says no.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, there are certain things that feel at a certain point, if the car is doing too much, I feel like I am not the one in control of the car. And if I'm going to be the one driving a car, I like to feel like I'm the one in control of the car. I don't want to feel like I'm driving a HAL 9000. You know what I mean? Sure. You're a HAL 1 million.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
There's a couple more on this list I'd like to talk about before we talk about two big ones that are not standard features. They are classics, but they're not standard features. But these two are definitely not classics and are kind of amazing. I would love adjustable mood lighting and a center console refrigerator.
The refrigerator is definitely a luxury upon luxury.
The silliest of luxuries.
But also the mood lighting feels like I'm in the back of a limousine.
Yeah.
That's where I
And also, if you want mood lighting in your car, you can buy battery operated Christmas lights and just string them through the panic handles that are hanging above all four of the windows. And, you run them through, underneath the sun visors. Not that I do this every year on Christmas, but 100% I do this every year on Christmas.
You have a whole system.
Oh, I have a whole system down. I'll create my own adjustable mood lighting. A center console refrigerator does sound awesome. Though if I've got I can stop at a 7-Eleven. I'll be fine. The two classics that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Leather seats and a moonroof. Or
absolutely not.
Why not?
No leather seats.
Okay. Leather seats we'll get rid of. Fine.
Not
they
even
can,
fake
your
leather
legs,
seats.
your legs can stick to them. But
Sweaty.
how? That open panorama
Moonroof?
of glass above your head.
I like
that. To me is, that makes any car feel like a convertible.
It does. There is one thing on this list that I want to briefly talk about just because it makes me mad. The fact that spacious rear legroom has to be a feature.
Yeah.
Like this can't be something that you pay. How would this work if I want to buy an HRV, but the upgrade is I want spacious legroom. Are they going to stretch it like it's Play-Doh? Or is it, would you like to upgrade to a different car, dummy? One that actually is made to hold 4 people in it?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. I would argue that if we're looking at this section, I would put the sunroof / moonroof. When did the name change from sunroof to moonroof?
I think the moonroof is the way
What's
bigger
the difference?
One. I think
is that the deal?
Either that or the moonroof is, no, I think the moonroof is the gigantic one. The sunroof is maybe
everything
smaller.
used to be called a sunroof and now everything's called a moonroof. And I realize I sound like Andy Rooney when I say that.
Yeah. You ever notice that now the sunroof is a moonroof?
Yeah.
Why did you change it? I like the sun. I don't like the moon.
Sunroof. I think the sunroof is up there. What else do you think is could make it through to the finals out of this?
That the power trunk lid is a game changing addition. I know you don't like it because of one thing that you've been through.
No. It's not that I don't like it because of one thing. It just feels like it's slower than I want it to be. It feels like an unnecessary, like when a car has a power lift gate or, whatever like that, I roll my eyes at it. I'm like, this feels unnecessary. Now I will go with you on the multi-zone climate control.
Hold on. Do you know what people felt that way about a while ago, Grandpa? Remote controls
What?
for televisions.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get up and change the channel yourself? That's what I did. I don't need my TV to be so smart. You go there and you press the buttons and then it does the thing. There's no need. Here's the reality.
Grandpa over here does not need. I love bells and whistles, man. I love bells and whistles. I don't need that particular bell, that very, very slow bell and that slide whistle. If it was a whistle, you know what it sounds like? Oh man, I wish whistling worked over Zoom microphones, but it really doesn't. Very slowly.
Even though it takes a while,
Ugh.
I would imagine that in the time it takes, because somebody has to be back there to load it up, right? Nobody loads the back of the car and then go sit in it and then close it. Somebody is usually closing, even if you're using a remote, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
In the time it takes for it to close, which I know is not at the speed or the level of satisfaction of slamming
I got
that
places
lid.
to be, Lublin. Let me
doesn't
slam
add
that trunk
time.
lid. It doesn't add time.
By time you are in your seat and the car is on,
Dude.
it is shut.
Dude, if I'm
It's
pulling
shut.
a heist and I have 2 big bags of gold bars and I run out and I throw those 2 big bags of gold bars in and I reach up and I close the lid and then I hop in the car and I go, 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 go. If we've got whatever this BS car you're talking about is, I run out, put those 2 big gold bar bags in there and I like push the button and I run up and I go, 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 go. And then we go, guess what? The trunk isn't even closed yet and the heist is ruined because both of those bags of gold bars are laying in the street.
The fact that you have to create a bad robbery plan to prove that it's a bad feature.
It's not. It
proves
was a
that it's
brilliant
a good feature.
plan. It's a brilliant plan.
Terrible
You just
plan.
brought the wrong
I don't like
car.
this plan.
It was we made it all the way out with the 2 bags, didn't we? Didn't we?
You throw them in
Yeah.
the back seat and go.
You've just made the trunk useless with your dumb button. Can it
Don't
please
open
be the
2
sunroof?
doors. We're
It's
going to
the
get caught,
sunroof.
Mark. The police are right on our back.
How? The police aren't going to be right on our backs when those 2 big bags of gold bars fall out and become speed bumps in the middle of the road. And then
Hey,
guess
Mark.
what? If they pull us over, oh no.
Mark, it's Wayne Dyer. I know you're in the middle of a robbery,
Wayne.
but I got a spot.
was
in
I
between
waving my
shoulder
arms too
blades
much?
Killing me. Yeah, you summoned me with your arm
Wayne.
waving.
All right. Oh.
I'll take the multi-zone climate control as a win because it is a huge difference maker.
Over the panoramic sunroof?
Yeah, 100%.
Why? Sell me on dual climate control over the ability to see the stars and the world around you.
First of all, there are tons of windows in the car. Even if you're not looking straight up, you'll still be able to see that stuff. Number 2 is it is really important to have comfort while you're driving to a certain degree. Not like give me a massage and beer me out of the refrigerator, but in terms of like, everybody should be able to have the riding experience that they want, and having your own climate zone is a huge step in that direction. I wish we had that in this house because I like it cold when it's bedtime and Jennifer is dressed like she's trapped in an avalanche going like, please turn the temperature up. But I won't do it because I'm backed by science. It's supposed to be better for you to sleep.
Well, look, for the sake of your marriage.
Thank you.
And because I'm quite happy that it's not that dumb trunk heist ruiner, then we'll put multi-zone climate control through the next round. What category do you want to, or should we take a break?
Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll dive into the remaining categories. We will have a winner and it will take less time than Mark thinks it takes for the trunk lid to close. We'll be right back.
Ugh.
Hi, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Ella.
And we're the hosts of Comfort Creatures.
We could spend the next 28 seconds telling you why you should listen, but instead, here's what our listeners have said about our show, because really, they do know best. The show is filled with stories and poems and science and friendship and laughter and tears sometimes, but tears that are from your heart being so filled up with love.
A cozy show about enthusiasm for animals of all kinds, real and unreal. If you greet the dog before the person walking them, or wander around the party looking for the host's cat, this podcast is for you.
So come for the comfort and stay for Alexis's wild story about waking up to her cat giving birth on top of her. So if that sounds like your cup of tea
or coffee, Ella, we're not all Brits,
then join us
every Thursday at MaximumFun.org.
Hey, this is Mike Cabalon,
Ifi Wadiwe,
and Sierra Kato,
the hosts of TV Chef Fantasy League,
where we are currently using fantasy sports rules to watch Great British Bake Off,
or the Great British Baking Show as it's known here in America.
We've drafted the bakers onto our teams, and now those bakers are earning us points based on how they're doing on the show.
And at the end of the season, one of us will win the prestigious TV Chef Fantasy League trophy crown? What is the...
I don't know. I keep forgetting to order something. Probably just dinner. Anyway, subscribe to TV Chef Fantasy League and play along with us at home.
Or just listen in as we cry over our baker's soggy bombs.
On MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, what is next?
All right, let's go to safety features.
Safety
This is
features.
We got to eat our vegetables before we get some more desserts.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of these. I think adaptive cruise control is a cool one because the idea that, you know, if I set the car to 75 and I'm making that drive toward Bakersfield and then the car in front of me has theirs set to 74, you know, our cars are going to kiss by the time I get there.
Yeah.
But if it's adaptive or if even someone slams on the brakes in front of me and the car slows down, hopefully that's not the version that I get. And I am able to, you know, paying a little bit of attention.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't like cruise control.
Yeah.
It really, like, if you need it, then you've been driving too long. You need to take a break.
I think that's the thing. Cruise control for me, I only use on a really, really long car trip. And it goes back to that. I like being the one in control of the car thing. A lot of these safety features take the control of the car away from the driver, which I don't love. Like, I realized at one point I had rented a car that was aggressively braking a lot. And I had it, whoever had driven it previously had it set to I went through the settings and it was like maintain the farthest possible distance and aggressively brake if you encroach on that.
Do you think
that I'm driving too close to people?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. But you know what? I'm going to drive how I'm going to drive, Hal. I don't need your Hal 9000ness telling me how to drive.
You know you can't do that, Mark.
Oh, no. Listen here, Hal 9000.
Breaky. Tell me your answer, dude. The emergency brake assist is actually great.
The emergency brake assist, yeah.
Where you misjudge the distance. I wasn't even aware you could set it to anything. Maybe that's something brand new.
It was on this one car that I had rented. It was set to be really, really aggressive. I actually really like it too. It makes me feel it's sort of an ease of mind thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of human error out of the picture, but boy, is that a curve that it is. That is a game of blackjack you're playing. It's really good up to a point, but after that, then it's just being judgy about my driving.
Well, a lot of these things now, a lot of these adaptive things are set up to take something out of your hands that could create an accident. One of them is, I didn't hit the brakes fast enough or I'm driving too close. That's going to fix that. Roll stability control is a similar thing. Like, I'm going to adjust engine power and do everything I can to prevent the car from flipping over. Another one that I think is actually really good, kind of a secret MVP, are adaptive headlights. I have that in my car.
Adaptive headlights are fun.
Yeah. Like now that the sun is rising earlier, I'm getting to my run in the morning and it's dark, like pitch black out. Like it is the middle of night. And when I turn to go into the park, the brights come on. I don't have to turn them on. I don't have to think about it.
I think
if there were another car nearby, they would turn off. So it's nice to have something that does that for me because it's really forgetting your brights are on is the issue because you can blind people coming towards you. That's the issue. Or people behind you.
Exactly.
You, rather.
And speaking of blinding people, I know it's like if you forget to turn them off and someone has to flash theirs out, you're like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. That eliminates that. I don't know if this is an aftermarket thing or if this is considered a feature, which is those halogen light bulbs. Those halogen light bulbs should be illegal, in my opinion. If you if you have those super bright halogen light bulbs, after you pass, you will be looking up at us. Like, I am not a fan of those bright halogen light bulbs. And you like, I have in the past seen them coming and I'm like, oh wow, those people really need to turn their brights off. And then I flash my brights at them and then they flash their brights at me and I'm like, oh no, those were your regulars? Get out of here with that. What do we think about, this is not on this particular list, but what about active lane assist?
I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Anything that helps you some of these are excuses for you not becoming a better driver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about the fact that you weave too much. We'll take care of that for you. You don't have to worry about the fact that you don't really pay attention to cars coming the other way or how near you are to things. We're going to give you forward collision mitigation or cross traffic alert, things like that. Anything like blind spot stuff. The blind spot warning is pretty good.
That's exactly the one I was just going to mention, because what you're talking about are things that nudge you and puppeteer you in a certain way as the driver. Blind spot warning just kind of taps you on the shoulder and is like, hey, just so you know, there's a car in your blind spot on this side. That little yellow dot. That's what all I need is that. Just give me that little yellow dot. If I get in a car that doesn't have that, I'm like, oh, pay a little extra attention this time.
Yeah, I think I would pick that one.
I think I would too. I think because the rest of them are a little aggressive HAL 9000 for me, and the blind spot detector. I think that blind spot detector should go the way of seat belts and, or I guess not go the way of, come the way of seat belts and backup cameras.
Come here, my way.
Come the way.
Come my way. Yep.
Blind spot monitor. Come away. Let me see who's there.
Oh, there are actually words to that song? The only one I think is like, wait. I would like to reach out my hand. And then he goes, I'm going to say you. I'm going to tell you to run. But then he goes,
yeah.
But those aren't words.
No, those are, that's Cab Calloway scatting. All right. So out of that one, that's a clear victor. That is blind spot monitoring. Where are we so far? What do we have, on our list?
It looks like
right now. Yeah. CarPlay.
We got,
dual climate control.
Dual climate control.
Mm-hmm.
And then blind spot monitoring. All right. Our category left is, have we done performance features? We haven't done performance features. Want to do that?
Sure. We have performance features and exterior and design features left. So let's go to performance features. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I don't know a ton about cars. So a lot of these, I'm like, electronic limited slip differential. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say the only one on these that I'm like, ooh, I like that is, drive modes. Comfy drive mode. And I like pushing that button that's like, hey, Gags, you want to see what it can do? Push me. I'm the sport mode button.
Oh, I like eco mode. Because it makes me feel like, oh, I'm really doing something for the environment in this polluting machine that I drive everywhere.
Yeah. I think of there's a lot of fun ones. Paddle shifters, not my thing. I like the gear shift on the floor.
Right.
But yeah, sure. Sports suspension. That's like all of turbocharged, torque vectoring, all of this stuff sounds like
right now.
Yeah. It sounds like the stuff that when you're playing a car-based racing video game, it tells you what they're doing. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Just show me the little stars. Does this have 4 stars for speed and 3 stars for handling, or 5 stars for speed and 2 stars for handling?
Yeah, nothing from this category is going to win, so I could care less what we pick. I'm going to be honest.
No. Can we say drive mode then? Because I like that sport button.
Drive
and
mode.
You like that eco button.
It was always the winner.
Great. So now we will go to exterior and design features. That would be those advanced headlights with super intensity. No, you can go right out of town with those. Roof rails are fun. I like roof rails, so you can put things up there.
Sure. A hitch.
Big fan of those. Yeah.
Towing hitch.
Oh, you know what I do like as an exterior thing that's real fun?
What?
When you open the door and it tells you what kind of car you're driving via a little gobo light on the ground.
Oh yeah, I drew on our, not our honeymoon, but our second trip to Hawaii for our anniversary.
Yeah.
We had like a Jeep for a couple days, and then they gave us like a sports car.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a Corvette. It was like, but it was one of those kind of cars. And when you open the door or you press the buttons, it shone down on the ground so you knew where it was.
See,
and that was pretty cool. Mustang. That's what it was.
It should show me something that I don't already know. I don't need to open the door of a Ford Mustang and see the word Ford. If I'm going over to Jeff's house and I can't remember Jeff's wife's name and I open the door and then the little light says it's Anne, that would be useful.
Oh,
or like a little picture of a footprint to be like, if you put your foot exactly here when you get out, that'll be the most ergonomic way to do it.
I thought it was going to be like you hit the button that just goes, Mark, were you aware that at one point in the medieval times, people would brush their teeth with salt? And
this is what I want. This is what I want, Hal. Yeah. Or make like a zoetrope. Show me that guy doing a hurdle on a horse.
Yeah.
right?
There's a horse hurdle. Well, the Mustang
Top
was
hat and a
halfway
horse
there.
hurdle.
There was
Yeah.
a horse involved.
I don't need to know. I know what I've just got out of. You know what? The steering wheel tells me. I don't need the door to also tell me what I'm driving. The dead center of the steering wheel tells me what I'm driving.
Yeah, I don't like any of these, frankly. I mean, they're all fine, but nothing here's going to win. Can we just bag the category?
Yeah, we can bag the category. Ooh, wait, can we move sunroof to this category?
Sure. So you want it to show up and then get its butt kicked at the very end?
Yes, because we all know who the winner is. Nothing's beaten it yet.
All right. You want to tell us the finalists?
I'll tell you the finalists. The finalists are the sunroof / moonroof. That's our exterior design features. Of comfort and interior features, we have multi-zone climate control. We have CarPlay. We have drive mode buttons. And we have the blind spot monitoring. This feels like a 2-horse race.
I gotta be honest with you, Mark. Doesn't feel like a race at all. And it feels like it would be dishonest to try and argue these when we both know what the winner is right off the beginning.
Yeah. I'm going to get in my Model T and I'm going to listen to, let's be honest, probably some Alan Menken through my CarPlay.
People of the world, I can show you the car, take you feature by feature, over, sideways, and under, but it would be a massive waste of time. It's CarPlay.
Don't you dare choose something else.
You plug your phone in and it shows up on your screen.
Hold your breath. Hal has dual climate control.
It'll take you anywhere with Wayne Dyer. The CarPlay.
Oh no, do not summon him. Hal,
hey, Mark.
You summoned him.
Hey, Mark,
oh, no.
it's Wayne Dyer. Just want you to know you did a good job, buddy. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Wayne. Thanks, man.
And, if you wanted to meditate about it, I wouldn't complain.
Do you just want another massage?
Will you hum me a massage real quick? Oh, I fell asleep like I was driving.
Oh, gosh, don't do that.
I'm Wayne Dyer. Well, that is it. Easy answer.
Yeah.
Well done. Great topic.
Such a fun topic. This topic is closed. Thank you to Matthew Kirchhoff for this delightful topic. But there are many more topics to discuss, so please reach out to us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or
you can find us on the social medias at We Got This Podcast, with the exception of Instagram, where we are at We Got This Show. And don't forget that Facebook group where you can talk about your favorite auto features if you have them. Facebook.com/group/We Got This Podcast. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kilman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, with whom we would love to road trip, not with dual climate control, but with every person of the world climate control, so we can all have the wonderful experience inside this vehicle together as we all pull our great gold heist. Let's do this, everybody. You know where to meet and when. We wouldn't do this without you. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported directly
by you.